In this video, we're going to talk about 5 beginner misconceptions new Amazon sellers often have and how you can avoid them. My name is Miles, and in the past 12 months, I've sold over $1 million worth of products on Amazon. I have a free community with over 15,000 members. It's linked below if you're interested, as well as we have several hundred students within our FBA roadmap program. And I've heard it all in terms of what questions beginners have, what they want to know, what they're wrong about by diagnosing those questions, and in this video we're going to go through several of the common ones that come up, misconceptions, what it's actually like, and how you can take that away and go make money in your own Amazon business. Number one is that you have to make your own product to be successful selling on Amazon. And in fact, that is completely not true because you can buy literally anything on Amazon. Like there's tens of millions of products listed on it, probably even hundreds of millions. And a lot of those are name brand products that are literally just being resold by people, right? You do not have to order product from Alibaba, which is called private label, which absolutely is a good business model, but there's 4 main ones that for Amazon. Basically, there's wholesale, there's arbitrage, which wholesale is buying stuff in bulk. Arbitrage is buying stuff from like retail stores, which is what I do, like Walmart, Nike.com, sites like that. Creating your own product is called private label, which is where you order stuff from Alibaba, from China, factories like that. Go ahead and create a listing on Amazon, drive traffic to that listing, and sell through your own brand. And the 4th one is dropshipping, which is very sketchy within Amazon's TOS, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But a lot of people that come to me in the DMs or whatever, they say, I don't know what product to sell, I don't know how to talk to suppliers in China and everything like that. Do you have to source using Alibaba? And those are absolutely not true. That's a big misconception people have, is that you have to go ahead and create your own product, and that could not be further from the truth. I make a living flipping products like Legos, different toy items, clothing, shoes, all different kinds of stuff from big name brands. Why this is so powerful is because when you make your own brand with private label, you have to create demand for that product, right? You have to run ads, you have to create a good listing, you have to have good photos. But when you resell products that people are already buying for, name brands, you literally just list up your product on a Lego listing and people then buy it. Next time you guys go look to buy products on Amazon, you'll see that it'll say sold by and shipped by right in the buy box where you go to add to cart. Oftentimes it's not sold by Amazon, shipped by Amazon. In many cases it is, but over 50% of the time it won't be, and that's because over 50% of the sales on Amazon actually come from third-party sellers, which are brands, resellers, distributors like ourselves that sell through Amazon's platform. In many of those cases they're just reselling or wholesaling name brand products. They are not necessarily creating their own. The second big misconception and mistake people make is thinking you need $5,000 to $10,000 and tons of money to get started with. I would say if you're looking to do a private label brand, you will need thousands of dollars to get started, but if you're looking to do an arbitrage or a wholesale business, you'll need much less. And that's probably one of the most common questions I get is how much money do you need to go ahead and start? I say the sweet spot is around $500 to $1,000. Obviously more helps, but I don't necessarily want you to commit that much upfront until you get to proof of concept. Because regardless, with whatever business you go ahead and start, you want to start something that doesn't have tons of risk. At least that's the way I think about it. I want low risk, and arbitrage is the perfect solution for that because you can literally just buy like 10 of a Lego set that are 16 bucks each for 160 bucks, or even just a few of them, get them listed merchant fulfilled on Amazon and get started. You don't need to commit $1,000 to a private label product or $2,000 to a course or mentorship program. Well, that stuff definitely is helpful, but it's not necessarily necessary. I started my flipping business a bunch of years ago with 160 bucks into a shoe, sold that for 220 and kept that rolling from there. Then I eventually got started with selling books on Amazon and now am doing what I'm doing now. So you definitely don't need thousands of dollars to get started. While it does help, I'd recommend committing about $500 to $1,000, and then as you build, get proof of concept, then putting in more eventually, using credit depending on your risk tolerance and all that, because that's the personal trajectory I took, and I'd highly recommend going that way. The third one is that you need tons of complicated software. That's absolutely not true. I'll give you my whole tech stack right here. So I pay for Keepa, which is about $20 a month, SellerAmp, which is about $20 a month, Inventory Lab, which is $50 a month, and BQL, a repricing software, which is $100 a month. And the only ones I'd say you really want to get when you're getting started would be Keepa and SellerAmp, because those are necessary for finding products. Inventory Lab is more defensive. It helps you list products, but you want to do that once you're already established and getting sales, because that saves time. It's not that it necessarily makes you money. Same thing with BQL, which is a repricing software that moves your pricing around to actually get more of the buy box. and it's not necessarily necessary at the start. The nice thing is with all these, pretty much you can get free trials. I don't think you can get a free trial with Keepa, but either way, they're not necessary, but they actually are super helpful. But right when you're getting started, I probably just recommend going with Keepa and SellerAmp. So you don't need tons of complicated software like many people out there maybe talk about or recommend, or at least beginners think they need, because these things are not expenses, which many people think of them as expenses. They are tools that make you more money, and you should not be using them if they're not actually actively making you money or saving you time. The fourth major misconception is that sourcing products is really hard. While I would say sourcing products is hard at the start, because typically when you're getting started, you don't have any opportunity to go after, or even know how to find opportunities to go after. You have capital. As you learn how to source products better, which comes from taking action, comes from putting time in, actively going out and looking products or paying other people to find them for you, you then get better at sourcing products. But when you start, you have money and you don't have opportunity. Eventually what comes up is you get good at finding stuff, and then you have too much opportunity for the capital you have, which is what's happening to me right now. But sourcing products isn't hard. You just need to put in the time to learn and literally just put the time in actively sourcing, trying out different things, because there's tons of different ways to find stuff. Literally in our FBA roadmap program, we have over 10 videos just on sourcing products, which is the most important part. And they're all different, unique methods. It's just, will you put in the time to apply several of those, whichever ones end up working for you, just to actively try. So sourcing products isn't hard. I would say it is the hardest part, but it's also the most important part, and it's also the part that makes you money. The parts of Amazon that aren't sourcing, like listing products, creating shipments, all that, the Amazon Seller Central parts, you only have to learn those once, and then all that matters is going out and learning to source more, learning to source better, which is something you learn over time. Your sourcing knowledge also compounds in that you get way better over time than you are at the start. So it's important to understand that your day 1 is completely different than your day 50, day 100, once you're 6 months in and everything. It's just, these are necessary skills to build in the first few weeks, first few days, that are complicated, but once you learn them, you don't have to learn them again. You just know how to do it, and then sourcing just becomes your main focus in terms of actively acquiring new products, which can be sold for new profit, which then compounds, and eventually you build out a catalog and a machine of knowledge where you can find profitable products wherever you look. And the last big beginner misconception and mistake beginners have is thinking that getting ungated is really, really difficult. A big thing people come into my DMs and comments asking is, how do you get products unlocked? Because they have their Amazon Seller app downloaded, they're scanning different products, and everything that says restricted, or at least everything they're scanning says restricted. Truth be told, at the start you will be gated, and a lot of things, the nice thing is a lot of that knowledge is out there for free. There's sites like Frontier Co-op, Katy Texas Wholesale, EE Distribution that can help you get ungated in brands like toys, beauty, grocery, brands and categories, which are super, super helpful and necessary to get started. Don't buy someone's ungating guide. Literally just look at this video and go take advantage of those sites for free and get that done. But a big thing is that it's really hard for newer sellers, and it's actually really easy. It's just, if you don't have the knowledge, you don't know how to do it. Luckily, if you're watching this video, you now do know how to do it, so you should go take advantage of that. So ungating is not really an issue for most brands and categories if you just know how to do it, and luckily, you're watching this video, if you've gotten this far, you know some of the main sites, or pretty much all the main sites that are helpful for ungating. So those were the 5 beginner misconceptions and mistakes oftentimes new sellers come into. I have lots of experience helping people get started, because you can literally scroll back years on my Instagram, almost a year on YouTube, 2 years on other platforms. See that I've been doing this for a while, and I went through the whole process of learning myself and literally failed for 18 months. You can see there was a period from mid 2019 to like right in the start of 2021 where I did not know what I was doing. I was trying to sell books. I didn't know how to get ungated, like I literally just told you guys how to do for free, and I really struggled. But then something eventually clicked, and my sales went literally from a few $1,000s a month to 40K, and then eventually 100K a few months later, leading it all the way up to the peak, or at least the current peak in December 2021, which is about 300K in sales, which is over 50K in profit, which is amazing. But it took me going through the hard process of learning how to do everything, doing the time under the bar, as I guess gym people say or whatever, getting going with that, and just learning the skill of selling on Amazon, because literally sourcing products, all this stuff is a skill that you have to learn, and you have to constantly iterate on daily to keep up with it. But as I say a lot, there's far worse ways to make money than selling on Amazon, and if you made it through all the way through this video, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe below and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next one.